What's going on, guys? Ethan here at DRC TV, and today I'm going to go over how to rig up a drop shot. We're going to start off with a rod and reel setup, and then I'll go right into how to tie the actual knot from your braid to your fluoro leader and how to set your hook up and your sinker and all that stuff. Before I get started, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. If you feel like this is interesting content and helping you out, let me know by doing that, and let me know in the comments if there's another type of knot or another type of setup that you want to see me rig up to kind of help you be more productive on the water, because that's our main goal here, is to get you catching more fish for the amount of time that you're out on the water. So yeah, stay tuned and thanks for watching. So for rod, we're going to go with TFO, Tactical Bass 7.3 medium. This is like my go-to drop shot spinning rod, or any kind of finesse work spinning rod. But it also can be used to throw like swim bait or whatever, because it does have some pretty substantial backbone considering that it is a medium. I got this paired up with a Fluger President. I think it's the best spinning reel for your money. They're like 65 bucks, and I feel like I've had every one I've got for 10 years and they work perfect. Like, the drag is just as smooth and crisp as could possibly be. Very little maintenance involved, just a great all-around reel. I got this paired up with 15-pound Cortland master braid in white. I love the white. I see it well. So if I have any kind of chance at catching a fish on the drop, it really just helps me pick that bite out. So to go ahead and get started, I'm gonna go ahead and take this leader material. This is Cortland 10-pound 0.011 diameter fluoro leader material. They come on these nice little spools that are conveniently self-attaching. They've got this little lip and you can stack them all up and keep them all nice and organized and whatever. So to attach our leader material, we're gonna go ahead and tie a improved Albright knot. So to go ahead and attach our braid to our fluoro leader line, or main line to our fluoro line, we're gonna go ahead and just double over our fluorocarbon into a loop. Okay, so our tag end is facing the same direction as our hook end. You're gonna go ahead and grab those in your fingers, take your tag end for your braid, and go in through the loop and pull out about 7 inches of line. You're gonna go ahead and hold your two fluoro lines together, and you're gonna go ahead and make 7 twists down your leader line, and then you're gonna go ahead and make 7 back over top of those twists headed towards the loop end of your leader line. And just be careful not to let go of that loop end. And then you're gonna pinch this, and you can push up on your main line and it goes up through that loop. So you're gonna wanna feed your tag end to your braid back through that, so that when you grab both lines of the braid and push, they both go up the same end of the hole. Otherwise it's just gonna undo itself and you're not gonna gain anything. Then you're gonna wanna go ahead and kind of snug that up about as close as you can get it to starting to tighten up. Go ahead and wet it so that we don't burn your fluoro, and just grab both of your main line ends and pull, and that'll cinch right up nice and tight. Very, very small knot, goes through the guides super easy, especially these metal guides that are on these TFOs. You don't really run into any issues there. I'm gonna go ahead and untangle my pliers here. We're gonna go ahead and just cut the tag end of the braid relatively close, maybe leave like a 1/16 of an inch there, and then go ahead and find our tag end of our fluoro. Same deal there, cut that relatively close, maybe a 1/16 of an inch, and there's your knot. And then as far as rigging this up for an actual drop shot goes, a lot of people will tell you to put 8 feet of fluoro leader on, and that should get you through as far as drop shot, and especially in clear water up here like we have here in the St. Lawrence River. I'm gonna go the opposite way and say you need at least 20. So I'm gonna go ahead and stretch my rod out and stretch my arm out and reel that up onto the spool, and then do it again. And that is going to give me enough to where I'm comfortable. So right now you can see my fluoro actually is touching my spool, and I have a whole 10 feet of fluoro outside of that, off the end of the rod tip. That's going to make it not only so that you have basically zero visibility on that line, like your main line is so far away from those fish they can't even tell, but on top of that, you can retie 5 or 6 times with this and not have to put a whole new leader on. So you're really maximizing your fish time because you don't have to sit there and tie an Albright knot, you know, every however many fish. I know for me personally, it's gone up since I switched to this Cortland stuff. I used to fish Seagar all the time, and it was good stuff, but you'd get a lot of frays and whatever. But with this Cortland stuff, I seem to get about 15 to 20 fish out of it before I have to retie my hook, before the fraying starts to get too bad. So now we're gonna move on to actually how to rig up a drop shot, which is probably why most of you guys are watching this video, is to tie the actual drop shot setup. And everybody ties it different. This is how I do it. I'll take my hook. Okay, this is a size 2 owner mosquito drop shot hook. I'm gonna feed my tag end of my fluoro through the hook, and I'm gonna actually tie a Palomar knot and feed this same tag end back through the same way it came out, so that I have a loop here. And then I've got whatever my leader length is. Okay, I prefer to leave myself about 18 inches of leader length. That way, if I come across fish that are a little bit suspended off bottom, I can still get to them, and my bait's not really up too far underneath them. But if they're really close to bottom, I can just slide the weight up the line, and I have enough there to where, you know, I can still fish close to bottom if I need to. So then once you've got your tag end sorted off and you know how much you want, and you got your loop end, you're gonna go ahead and tie a Palomar knot, which is just an overhand knot, like so, and then throw your hook back through that loop. Get it close to cinching down, and then wet it so you don't burn that fluoro. Slide that end over top of that little hook crimp spot there. And there's your knot. That's what's gonna hold the hook there. Now you can leave it like that if you so choose, but what I like to do is take the tag end and hold the hook vertical. And then I'll feed the tag end back through the eye of the hook. And what that does is when that's tight, it forces the hook point up all the time. So you're never going to experience a point or a position where your hook is like this in the bass's mouth. Because when you're pulling straight up on them, if your hook's like that, you stand a substantially lesser chance of hooking the fish. So when that goes back through the eye like that, it's always up every time, and you're going to poke them right in the top of the mouth. You'll never have those bottom hooks or way off to the side and worry about dropping them and shaking them off. I almost never lose fish just because of that one thing. That nobody really taught me that. I just kind of figured that it would help, and it seems to. And then you're going to go ahead and grab yourself just a generic drop shot weight. You can use whatever kind of weight you want. Some people prefer the tie-ons. I prefer the clip-ons just because I fish a lot of stuff with really heavy current and lots of big rocks. So I'm constantly losing these things on the bottom. And then all you do to hook this up, it's pinched at the top of the teardrop, and you just go ahead and push this through and then pull up and tighten that down, and that pressure of that pinch on the teardrop is going to hold that weight on there, and it's not coming off. Nothing to worry about there. And that is your drop shot setup. I'll include this as a demonstration. This is a bait that's just sitting at the bottom of the deck. You can either nose hook it like so. That's my preferred method. It gives the bait a lot of turn in the current and gives it a little bit more action. If I'm getting short struck, I'll thread the needle and run the hook like that. It just pushes it that much further back. Usually if you're on fish that are like in the 1 to 3 pound class range, I'll switch over and do something like this just to increase my hookup ratio. And then if you're in weeds and you want to try to keep it weedless, you can either throw a longer, like a worm style hook, like just a flat shank worm hook, or you can just hook it through the bottom like that, and it keeps the weeds off from getting on your barb. Not super effective. They're still going to hit your line and run down onto the hook, but you are going to hook less. I can't tell you how much less, but you're going to hook less than if you have it like this, than if you have the hook actually protruding the head. And definitely want to make sure that you're hooking it through. As much as you might lose baits through the narrowest diameter at the nose of the bait, because this way you have a lot of open space in that gap. If you push it back towards the head, it'll certainly work, but you're filling the gap in the hook with bait, and it's very, very hard to get that hook to penetrate that fish's mouth when it's sitting there like this. It just helps it slide over, and you're barely skin hooking that fish. But yeah, that's my drop shot setup. Lots of people do it lots of different ways. This is how I prefer to do it. Some people might say you're crazy for throwing 10 pound on the river and you need 6 pound or whatever to catch these giant smallmouth. I don't have any problem with it. And if anything, I would rather throw 10 even if it did cause a problem, because the 6s that I do catch and the big fish that are angry and nasty and they start to get their teeth when they're chasing bait late in the year, they don't break off. Like I can't tell you how many fish I used to break off on 8 pound test or 6 pound test leaders. And then I just upped it to 10 because I got sick of it, and I never really noticed a difference. Somebody will tell you otherwise, I'm certain of it. Yeah, so that's my drop shot setup. Hope you guys enjoyed it. This is a 3/8 weight. So tomorrow for the tournament, I'm gonna throw that one with a 3/8. I'm gonna throw this one with a 5/8 when I move into a little bit deeper water. But pretty much the same thing, a little bit bigger size reel because I'm gonna be paying out a little bit more line. Same rod though, same deal, 7.3, medium action, fast or extra fast. That's pretty much the deal. So, hope you guys learned something. Hopefully it was helpful, and hopefully this helps you put more fish in the boat. Thanks for watching, and peace out.